The end of From Season 3, Episode 1 reveals a tragic detail about Victor's family, providing an important reminder of the harsh realities faced by not only the town's residents, but those outside it. In From Season 2, Episode 8, a good portion of Victor's backstory was revealed through flashbacks, showing his time in the town as a child and the moments leading up to the tragic deaths of his mother and sister. The large massacre by From's mysterious monsters left him as the sole survivor, with Victor also being the longest trapped resident after arriving over 40 years ago. More of that picture is painted in From Season 3, Episode 1, which reveals that Victor's father is still alive and living in the house that Victor grew up in before disappearing. After From Season 2's ending saw Tabitha fall from the lighthouse tower and become transported outside the township, Season 3 reveals that she landed in Camden, Maine, Victor's hometown. Tabitha realizes that Victor's home address is written inside the lunchbox he gave her, and when she travels to the house, his father greets her with suspicion as he recognizes his son's possession. Victor's father will finally learn about his wife and daughter's death after disappearing for decades. Tabitha meets Victor's father in the final moments of From Season 3, Episode 1. Victor's father still being alive and living at his family's home suggests he's never let go of his wife and kids, despite the fact that they've been missing for over 40 years. His father appears angry when Tabitha shows up at his house, which also implies that their disappearances have made him skeptical of others. However, after more than 4 decades of having no answer to what happened to his wife, son, and daughter, Victor's father will tragically discover that 2 of them died more than 40 years ago. With Tabitha being in Camden, Maine during From Season 3 alongside Victor's father, it seems the 2 of them will team up to discover more about the truth of the town. Whether Victor's father believes Tabitha's claims about the town, knowing Victor, and being transported to Camden after falling from a lighthouse remains to be seen, however. Regardless, Tabitha's arrival at Victor's home will finally give his father the closure he's certainly been seeking over the past several decades, though he will sadly have to face the reality of his wife and daughter's deaths. Victor's father is a reminder that the town's residents aren't the only ones being tortured. Those they left behind are also tormented. Kenny, Elgin, Julie, and Boyd look on in a composite image of From Season 2 Episode 9 custom image by SR Image Editor. Tabitha is the first character in From's ensemble who is known to have successfully made it outside the township, which opens up the hit MGM Plus TV show to a slew of brand new conflicts. One of these involves the responses of the township residents' friends and family on the outside. Outside of Christie's fiancée Marielle, arriving in From's town, the world's reactions, devastation, and confusion about the characters' disappearances have largely been a point of speculation. As Tabitha tearfully calls her own mother and meets Victor's father, the perspective of the trapped victims' families is finally addressed more directly. The priority of From is to explore the social, mental, and personal ramifications of the characters who become trapped in the town and stalked by dangerous supernatural forces and mysteries. But, it's arguably still difficult to fully know and understand these characters unless there's a more objective depiction of their lives before they came to the township. These pictures are painted more clearly by the introduction of their loved ones back in real society, such as Victor's father being able to give insight into who he, his mother, and his sister were before arriving at From's town. In doing so, From Season 3 provides a tragic and important reminder of the hardships that the loved ones the trapped victims left behind still face. Their uncertainty about the characters' fates continues to pain them, with Victor's father being plagued by the mystery of what happened to his family for decades. From's characters in the township face death, horrifying unknowns, and manipulations by the forces that keep them trapped, with those same forces also tormenting the victims' families by never giving them closure or answers. Will Victor and his father finally reunite in From Season 3? Victor and his father may finally be together again after 40+ years. Victor leaning against a post looking stressed and tired in From Season 3. Victor's father now has the answers he's long been seeking about what happened to his family, and it will likely lead him to seek out ways to finally reunite with his surviving son. Since Victor arrived at From's town over 40 years ago, his father will hardly recognize him, and Victor himself may remember a completely different man than who he might meet as an adult. Still, Victor has always maintained a childlike disposition with his arrested development within the township, so he may not be too different from the boy that his father remembered before disappearing. While Tabitha has made it outside the town, her main focus in From Season 3 will be to reunite with her children and husband back in the township. Tabitha now knows a way out, but still has to find them and help save the others, likely with the assistance of Victor's father. Whether it's in the township or back in their hometown, it now seems like Victor and his father will officially reunite after being separated for several decades.